All right, this is the third attempt at a live stream. This is a third attempt at a live stream. Let's get some people in chat. Let's get some Hubies in chat. Let's get some doobies in chat. Let's get some Hubie doobies in chat, okay? So, yeah. I'll wait till some more people populate, and then I'll give people an update, and I'll get back into the movie chat. Um, sorry about that. Sorry about that. But now we're back, and it's realer than ever. I think it might be the most real it's ever been. Yeah. So I know you've gotten a bunch of you've gotten a bunch of notifications. Okay. I am not bawling, so all signs point toward Daffy being okay. Yes, the doctor said that they were waiting until 5 p.m. or so tonight to kind of make a decision on whether or not they thought they could discharge her tomorrow. And this doctor's opinion is that she will be discharged tomorrow. It's kind of up to the morning doctor, so that word could change. But presently, we're hoping to bring her home tomorrow. So let me see those Hubies rip. It's been a very stressful week, and it's also, collided with a lot of work on the film, and but that's life. And I want to talk about the work on the film. So we're going to talk about what I'm doing right now, what I'm doing tonight. Oh, and I should say, Olivia's not here tonight. I'm all alone in the garage, but don't worry. She'll be back soon, and we're probably going to be doing work this weekend. And she misses everyone. She said she did. Is OTD in the chat? Well, then I guess you can tell everybody you miss them. OTD, make yourself known. Throw a Hubie at me. Come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? Chat on the phone is weird. It's hard to track, hard to see, hard to read, hard in general. Okay. So, last week we did ADR for the entire film, and we got creature voices for the entire film. So, not to turn this into a film school class, but I just want to explain a little bit about what ADR is. I think most people know it's whoa, she misses the Hubies. ADR is additional dialogue recording, and you could be recording dialogue after the fact for a number of reasons. It could range from, it didn't sound good on the day. That's the most straightforward one. Hey, there was noise over that line. There was wind. There was muffling on the lav mic. Let's get it again. We'll get it as ADR. So that's one reason. Hey, Aiden, you watched an episode of Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. Okay, cool. Let me know what the question is. Another reason for dialogue recording. Yeah, Hunter, the cat, supposedly, if tonight goes well, we might be getting her back at the house tomorrow. She might be discharged from the hospital tomorrow. That was the word from the doctor. Really great doctor. Really nice, really good bedside manner when talking about these sweet little delicate creatures. So that's a reason you could need ADR. Another reason you might need ADR is just because you realize once you cut things together that you need an extra line of dialogue that wasn't there. A good example is in Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2, whichever one. I think it's Evil Dead 2. They added in a line while he was running through the woods that says, "Work shed." They wanted to signify that he was thinking, I'll go toward the work shed. Otherwise, he was just running through the woods for no reason and then came across the work shed. We have some lines like that. Nothing that weird, not work shed. But we cut a scene down, for example. We edited a scene down from like 9 minutes to 6 minutes, but with it went some explanatory dialogue. So we write one new line of dialogue that does the job of the 5 or 6 lines of dialogue we lost by trimming the scene. The specific line of dialogue is from Olivia's character, Farah, when she says, the book will tell me whether or not you have a rightful place. That scene used to be a long explanation about this book and how the book will be the divining rod that lets every person there at the mansion know whether or not they have a right to take part in this big ritual. Now it's all condensed to one line of dialogue. The book will tell me whether or not you have a rightful place. So it could be stuff like that. Supplemental dialogue, additive dialogue. But basically, it was nothing you got on the day. It's new altogether because of how your edit came together. And then there's, you wouldn't really even call this ADR, but then there's the voices for the creatures. We did it while we got ADR, but you wouldn't really just call that ADR because that was a planned thing. I mean, it would just be performance. So, Beefy Bad Boy, Box Demon, Abaddon. We've got a wonderful voice actor who voiced Abaddon for this cut. But this voice actor knows we're aiming to get an older actor that has some presence in the genre to voice this demon. So my buddy, who's a great voice actor, gave us his talents and his time for this temp mix that we're gearing up to do. But the goal is that we actually replace him, in essence, with this this other performer in the near future. So anyway, what am I doing tonight and why? We are gearing up to submit to 3 to 4 festivals next week, with deadlines ranging from September 26th to October 18th. We're going to start submitting next week, though. So what does that mean? Well, the movie's not done yet, but we are pushing towards what we're calling our baby mix. You could call it a temp mix, but I think that's confusing because we kind of already had a little temp version of the movie a month or so ago. But this will be our most complete version of the film yet, done by September 20th or September 21st. So tonight, we're reviewing score. The first time we will hear the bulk of the score. Tonight, we will be giving notes to our dialogue editor on what ADR to prioritize this weekend. The monsters have already been cut in. Abaddon, Box Demon, Beefy Bad Boy. I am currently editing together the final voiceover from Mr. Duke as Onyx reads a letter that Mr. Duke wrote him. That's what I'm doing tonight. All so that on Sunday and Monday, we can work with the sound designer, who's also kind of doing this baby mix, to have a more completed movie by Tuesday to submit to these 4 festivals. Once that submission is off, we'll sit with that baby mix, we'll look at what VFX is completed, and we will note the film to death and get ready for our final mix, which is October 10th. So October 10th to October 17th is the final mix. By then, hopefully, all VFX shots will be done, all score will be revised and redelivered, and all sound design will be in, and all ADR will be in. So, I mean, the best way to look at it is by Tuesday, we will have a junior version of the movie, and then by October 17th, we should have the full movie done. It's difficult with festivals because they might watch it as soon as we submit, you know, or they might not watch it for a month. So this junior version, for all intents and purposes, is the foot that we're putting forward to submit to these 4 festivals. There's going to be a lot of title cards up that say incomplete. TIFF has come and gone. TIFF has come and gone. And we did not premiere at TIFF. And the festivals we are submitting to, probably the earliest one occurs in January. And then one in March, another one in March. So, I mean, that's how long you got to wait. You submit in September or October. Best case scenario, if you get into one of these, you're not premiering until January, February, March. But I got off track. Okay, so whatever we submit is going to be what these festivals review. Now, say we send this junior cut in September 21st, and then by October 17th, we've got this fresh daddy. What is that, a big old white hair coming out of my beard? Yeah, probably. Can I pull it out? Almost. Ooh, what if I could get that? Is this the content you signed up for? Oh, what if I could get that? Ooh, I'd love it. Love it if I could. Oh, I'd love it if I could. Ooh, but I can't. Oh, I lost it and I found it again. Okay. Ooh, I got it. Can I get that little white hair? Oh my gosh. Look at you. Look at you. Yeah. I don't mind going gray. I've gotten over going bald, so I definitely don't mind going gray. But for some reason, gray hairs in my beard that's mostly not gray, it's kind of like I just want to pick. I want to pick the white hairs out. That's all. It's a whisker. My doctor just sent me a picture of Daffy saying goodnight. Let me look at it over here because it's personal. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, we got to get that girl home. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, okay, so I am editing Mr. Duke's letter into, oh, anyway, sorry. So we might be able to refresh the Vimeo link, replace it with the big boy cut in October, and that might happen before anyone from these festivals has reviewed it. That would be great. More complete VFX, more complete sound, more complete music. Or one of these programmers is going to watch the movie next Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? They might sit down, start scrolling through the submissions and see, oh, this looks cool. Practical puppets, these actors, this hot guy from the internet. I'll watch it. And they might watch it on Wednesday or Thursday. So our junior bad boy has to be as presentable, buttoned up, and dialed in as possible. So, to that end, what I am doing is editing in Mr. Duke's letter. We had a temp version of the letter in my cut forever, but it was recorded on the actor's phone.
If you are not the fortuitous one and you throw yourself into the hellmouth.
Now we have it professionally recorded by a wonderful studio in Atlanta where we did some of this ADR. So to take a little bit of a load off of our dialogue editor, especially because editing ADR, sometimes it's very technical. You just choose whichever line fits. But sometimes it's still performance-based, so the director might have a choice. I knew with Duke's letter, I was going to have a lot of opinions, so I just wanted to cut it myself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting in Duke's letter, and I am encountering some problems, and I'll be honest with you about them. Every time you get a problem, find a problem in your edit, it feels like the end of the world. And you sit back and you go, huh, okay, I'm fucked. And you might be fucked for a time, but then you circle back and you try to come up with a solution. I mean, I tell you, that's one of the reasons why it was so wonderful cutting the film with Olivia is I might see something as we're fucked and get kind of locked up in that problem. And she'd be able to say, well, I don't know if we're that fucked. What about this? What about that? Think outside the box. It might take me a little bit of time to think outside the box because I get pretty stubborn in my edits and even stubborn in the solutions that I might see. No, that's not a solution. Well, what if, no, that's not a solution. No. When the truth is, it might be. The problem I'm encountering right now is that the temp voiceover I edited this scene to, I think I can show you. Oh, yeah, Olivia. Yeah, no way. I don't get stuck. I'm not stubborn. I don't think there's any other actors in this, so I could just show you. It's very dark, especially because of how bright it is out here. But it's Onyx reading a letter. It's Onyx reading Mr. Duke's letter.
Fall for miles and miles, hurtling toward Abaddon.
So the edit was all timed out to his voiceover, but the voiceover was temp. Now, when we got this professionally recorded, we listened to the original for a while before the actor performed it. But inevitably, it wound up being performed at a different pace than the temp. What I'm finding is most of the entire performance is now quicker. The read overall is quicker. And the problem is, it's not the biggest issue until you get to this part.
It could not beat it. If you are not the fortuitous one and you throw yourself into the hellmouth, you will burn alive as
You hear him say burn alive, and then we cut to an insert of the letter, and it says burn alive in big letters. Well, those have to line up because it's a visual gag that matches what you're hearing.
not the fortuitous
So,
one.
my plan tonight was to just sit here and edit this while I, every once in a while, looked over at the live stream to catch some questions. But the truth is, I don't want to bore y'all to death, so I won't sit here and edit. I'll talk and I'll answer questions. But I did just want to try to line this up real quick.
When you throw yourself into the hellmouth, you will burn alive.
You know, it maybe it's fine that it's burn alive, miles and miles, miles and miles. You know, let's
As you
see.
fall for miles and miles, hurtling toward Abaddon's pit deep beneath the Earth's surface, fully awake and aware for the entirety of the fall. Then, once arriving in his lair, undoubtedly face centuries of torture at the hands of Abaddon and his many demonic minions. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I don't think that works. I don't think that works. So, I'd say show the words on the paper as soon as he is speaking them, like a cue. Yeah, and that's how it was cut originally. So, in order to do that now, yeah, I mean, the truth is, what that does, here, I'll show you.
If you are not the fortuitous one and you throw yourself into the hellmouth, you will burn alive.
First of all, I like cutting out breaths. Let me cut out that breath. Not everybody likes losing the breaths.
Hellmouth, you will burn alive as you fall for will burn alive.
Burn alive. Okay, so this all has to happen later. Oh, but wait.
You will burn alive as you fall.
Let's see that. Okay, let's see if by moving it all to match burn alive, will it naturally match the other ones? Let's see.
Fall for yourself into the hellmouth. You will burn alive as you fall for miles and miles, hurtling toward Abaddon's pit deep beneath the Earth's surface, fully awake and aware for the entirety of the fall. Then, once arriving in his lair, undoubtedly face centuries of torture at the hands of Abaddon and his many demonic minions.
So,
Good luck.
yeah, that's difficult because now you've got all this space before his good luck, which is also seen on camera. More importantly, if you can see in my timeline, you've got all this space before the letter begins.
However, if you are not the fortuitous one,
Look how much space that, however, beat, if you are not the fortuna. That's tricky. Not gonna lie. I don't think I'm gonna solve this problem on the stream. The problem is I've gone through every take of the letter.
it will also have the power to reanimate
There's a great many takes, and they're
Onyx. I cannot say whether or not you are the one the prophecy speaks of.
all really great performance-wise. Anthony, unfortunately, the edit's locked. So I don't mind people throwing out their opinions, but the edit's locked. We're far beyond changing the edit. Unless, what could snug this up, and this would be incredibly frustrating for everyone, is if I were to trim. Now that wouldn't work. This is an example of
However,
Onyx. I have to tell you,
if you are not the fortuitous,
you'd have to add a line.
ought to be true. However,
Onyx, I must warn you.
if you are not the fortuitous one,
I mean, you gotta add another line in there. And then another line here.
Minions.
Blah, 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 blah.
Good luck.
You know? Otherwise, you try to recut that sequence. It's also possible that the actor could do those 2 new lines on their phone, and we wouldn't notice the difference. So then, Seamus, that's a good question. Can you slow the speed of his reading down slightly to make it fill a gap? Well, if you slow it down, it automatically pitches down. Right, if you were to talk slower. So you could slow it down and pitch it up so that it maybe would sound the same, but it almost always sounds unnatural. I've already texted my sound designer about that exact idea. So, yeah. What I'm going to do right now is send this to Olivia to listen to. I'm going to get her opinion just in general on the line readings that I selected, because she was there for the entirety of ADR. Yes, I know there is a pitch function, and I know our sound designer, I mean, he's incredibly skilled, but he still feels like it will sound unnatural. We can try it. We'll try it this weekend. I'm exporting. Olivia, I don't know if you're still in chat, but you're gonna get this, and I'd love your feedback. So here's an example of the process. Olivia and I couldn't be together today to do this. Normally we would cut this and she'd be sitting right here in her green chair. She couldn't be here, so I cut it, and I'm going to send it to her, and I'm going to ask her. I was saying, don't slow down the sound, but you can move around or time after the video portion that isn't directly viewing the words. Right. I mean, that would be my next step, is to just like get really surgical and try to bump words or phrases left and right just to make up for that space. My gut, after seeing how much space there is that it would still be too quick, that I wouldn't be able to finagle that, but I could be wrong. And there will be background ambiance, yeah. There's a lot. There will be a lot going on. A lot of crickets, a lot of cicadas we're talking about, okay? So, I will send this to Olivia and ask her, A, how do you feel about my line selections? Are there any lines you want other versions of? Because she might remember... Yeah, Bowles, remember we had him redo this, and we liked it much better on, a later take. And I'll go, okay. Because I cut this together focused on performance, but also focused on timing. Really trying to get the timing right. Clearly, I was still off. So, what else is going on while we wait for Olivia's feedback on this? Okay, once I'm done this, I'm going to switch over to looking over all the ADR cues that we got this week from all the actors. I think we had 10 or 11 actors. And I'm going to tell our dialogue editor what to prioritize, because it's a lot. And it'll all be done by October 10th, but it might not be done by Monday when we're mixing for the junior mix. We should have called it the junior mix, Olivia. I don't know if you're still in chat, but why didn't we call it the junior mix? Baby mix sounds like baby shark. Temp mix is confusing for people. We should have called it the junior mix. You know what we should have called it? The bad boy mix and then the beefy bad boy mix. Somebody said, "Oh, I'd have gone through so much whiskey." Well, we have gone through a lot of whiskey. Not this week. This week hasn't been a whiskey week, but a weeks. But Olivia, what'd you say sorry for? I don't know what you're talking about. Other than sorry you couldn't be here. Maybe that's what you meant. Hey, that's a good idea, Rocket Sauce. Put in some Onyx stuff, because he's off camera. Oh, you're apologizing for calling it the baby mix. Well, yeah, you fucked us. No, you could... Oh, okay. Yeah, you could put in some Onyx stuff. That's a good idea. Huh. Centuries of torture, huh? Huh. I wonder if they'd poke me in my little balls. Would there be ball torture? I'm just spitballing here. Good to hear from you, Mr. Duke. Virtually. This week wasn't a whiskey week, but here's what I have to decide. What I want to do is have one of my... Yeah, that is a really good idea. That's a perfect example of me not thinking outside the box. I'm thinking this has to fit. It has to fit the way the temp fit. And that's as far as my mind goes. It would take me a while to get to the outside the box question. Oh, I just realized that well, I don't know if that made it any better, did it? That's a perfect example of me not thinking outside the box. So, I appreciate the input. That would have taken me a while, I think, to get to that realization. Duke recorded the 2 lines, and also having Onyx record 2 filler lines. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to do that. So here's what I wanted to have to drink tonight. You guys probably remember this from last year. But my favorite pumpkin beer, Dogfish Head's Pumpkin Ale, I'm going to drink it. But I have such a long night ahead of me. That's why I was going to say no to having anything to drink. But I'm going to drink it. Because it's fall, you know? I don't like pumpkin beer. I don't like pumpkin flavored beer. I don't like cinnamon flavored beer. But I like this pumpkin beer from Dogfish Head because it's barely pumpkin. You know what I mean? I like Shipyard Pumpkinhead. I do. But I like pumpkin ale better. I like the pumpkin ale better. Someone, maybe Olivia, is going to tell me that I need more light on my face now that I've closed the door. But hold on. One sec. Is this light even on? And will it even help? Will it fill in anything on my tired face? I did a little something, right? Olivia, did that make you happy? Okay, let's do it. For the last 10 minutes or so of stream, let's have one of these bad boys. I usually just buy, I have a 6-pack of pumpkin that I've been saving for the first 70-degree weekend. I usually just buy 2 6-packs, and that's all I have for the year. Yeast and the Beast. I urge you to give this a try. It's a brown ale, and the pumpkin is just kind of an aftertaste. It's spicy, but it feels harvesty. It feels cozy. So there's been a bunch of questions, and I've ignored them because I've been talking about ADR. I'm sorry. But if I haven't answered a question, feel free to resend it in chat. And I will try to answer. Yeah, Matthew, I shouldn't be drinking beer, but for different reasons. For me, it's because I'm gluten intolerant in a big way. And this will make me bloated and sick. Okay, can I slow the whole speech down by like 0.1 so that the read is longer, and then start cutting that, and then all the sound will match? I can. Oh, Werewolf by Night. That's a great question. I'd love to talk about Werewolf by Night. And I'll be honest about it. You might be able to slow it down. But honestly, if you slow something down by 1%, that's not going to change. I mean, like, it's like, let's slow it down. Let's make it 99%. It barely changed.
Undoubtedly face centuries of...
It just doesn't really change the length. You'd have to change a lot more. Olivia, you and Bowser are cool with sending me the cut in a few weeks for notes. I don't know if we can. I don't know, though. I'm not saying we can't, Hunter, because I know you're involved in the film. But that we just have to have an internal conversation because we've been living in this void, this garage life. Werewolf by Night. Okay, I am excited by the prospect of it. How do I say this? I'm worried about the director. I'm worried about the director. I'd have more excitement for Werewolf by Night if it was a horror director with some experience and passion for the genre. And I'm not saying composer Michael Giacchino isn't passionate about horror, but, you know, he is not an experienced director. And that worries me because if it's not well received, they're not going to do more of these one-shots. And they're definitely not going to dip their toes in horror again. And I don't consider Doctor Strange 2 to be horror. So it worries me. I also think the trailer misses the mark. It looks like it's shot like a regular Marvel show, and then with a lot of treatment done in post to make it look like a Universal monster movie. But it wasn't built that way, so the treatment feels false. And I don't think it's a well-cut trailer. I think an old-school trailer would have been very explanatory about the setup. 5 people enter a house. One of them. You know what I mean? Like, but instead it was very vague. It was like, someone's hunting. Someone's a hunter. Someone's predator, but someone's prey. Someone's a werewolf, and you'll see, and there's power at stake, but I don't know, Werewolf by Night. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't feel like it came from a place of deep intimacy and understanding when it comes to genre tropes. But what do I know? You know, it's the guy that gave us bwah, 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 as a Batman theme. So maybe it'll fucking rip. Somebody had a good question a minute ago, and I was distracted because I was talking about Werewolf by Night. But I love the character, Werewolf by Night. Oh, yeah. What else is popping? I'm going to try to slow down and drink this beer before diving back into this edit. Olivia, have you had time to listen to Mr. Duke's letter? Not to put you on blast, or have you been watching the stream? Will there be fewer streams post-movie? I don't know. I don't think so, because I think Olivia and I both look forward to the streams kind of no matter what. And we've done the streams even when there's not much to talk about in regards to the film. Olivia, that's fine. Let's touch base when the stream ends. So I think we'll continue the stream. We both just really look forward to the routine of it and connecting with everybody. It's a really good respite, is that the word, when there's hectic weeks, you know, to just sit down and chat. And I think there's a world where the streams, you know, even get more interesting once we can start showing people more of the movie. You know, if we were to get into one of these festivals, we'd need to cut a festival trailer. We'd have to start kind of doing some grassroots marketing. Somebody said status of the poster. We should have it by Monday or Tuesday. What are Amanda asking the thoughts about the community that's formed? I am obsessed with the community that's formed. I think that's one of the reasons why we want to keep doing the stream. To be honest, when I launched the Kickstarter, I felt rather alone. I only have one friend, and it's Olivia. And doing the Kickstarter was very therapeutic because all of these people that knew Onyx and that liked the character came out of the woodwork, and now we've got this thing. And ironically, you know, I found a little community through the creation of the film. And then also, that's what happened when I wrote the movie. I realized the whole movie's about finding friends and finding community. And then it happened again on the set. So, yeah, it's weird. It's just a big lesson in not making yourself an island, which I can do very easily. Playing clips of the voice might be a little dicey, but it's definitely not the same as showing someone's likeness and showing someone's performance, or even showing pieces of the edited film without getting sign off from everyone. You know, I can show bits with Onyx, and I just don't think it's a big deal to hear pieces of audio. I don't think, you know, maybe I'll get a slap on the wrist. We'll see, but I think it's okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Those are good questions, though. As I become more and more chill because of my pumpkin beer. We also got some fun animation this week that's going to go over the end credits. We got Battle Cats animation that's going to go in a flashback scene where young Onyx is watching the Battle Cats cartoon. I can show you a clip of Battle Cats. Let me do that. Let me bring it up over here. Righteous, worthy, and divine. It's a good one to show. Oh, this is a good one to show. There's no backgrounds in yet. I know you're not going to be able to see it, like, easily, but that's kind of the point. I don't want to show anything too full frame. Okay, well, you really can't see that at all. Also, it currently has the Thundercats theme underneath it. That's what we were animating to. Can you see this one better because it's darker? That's fun. Here's a little sidekick. Here's a little kitty cat. A little robot cat. Here's the Battle Cats squaring up, getting into formation. Wow, you can't see that. Can't see that at all. Okay, but anyway. What about this one? You can kind of see that? Yeah, kind of. Not really. But anyway, so everything has kind of been leading up to this submission on Monday or Tuesday. Stuff like that. Assets coming together for VFX, anything that's going in screens. At one point, a character is playing video poker. And so that's got to be an asset that's created. Oh, here's something fun I can show. When Onyx wins his invitation to Bartok's mansion, a clip of animation plays that's a little cartoon Bartok that says, "Congratulations, congratulations." Let me show you that animation. Can I find it? Okay, can I find it? Okay, there's a hairless cat video that I sent. Okay. Okay, cool. Is it this? Yeah, okay, let me see if I can drag it. Okay, so the only thing about this is that it will also show the, in the corner, there's like what we're animating to. You can kind of see it. Congratulations. Down here is like the screen that it's going to get comped into. And then here's the animation itself. Hold on. Congratulations. Anyway. I mean, wow. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Okay. I'll go for a couple more minutes because I had multiple delays. Anybody else got any questions about where we're at with the film and the process in general? Battle Cats, doodle-loop-a-doo-doo. Battle Cats, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Battle Cats, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Woo-doo-doo-doo-doo-ba. Ho-doo-doo. Yeah, when Olivia's not here, I'm off the rails. I'm going rogue, and all I have to do is deal with the text that I get from her where she says, why did you show that? Why did you talk about that? Ah! But you can't stop me. I'm in the garage going rogue. How am I doing? I don't know. No idea. Just in it. In it. In it, in it, in it. How many people have worked or are working on the film? That's a great question. And it does sound like the Pokemon theme. Is Barbara Crampton in the film anywhere? I cannot say. I cannot announce all of our cast and cameos. How many people have worked on the film? I don't know, Olivia. Do you have a guess? How many people did we have in I Think Like You're Winning? That's very true. How many people do you think we had in Massachusetts? 30? And, you know, now we've got composers, animators, VFX artists, sound designers, sound engineers. You know, the LA week different crew of probably 20, 15. Really? More than 30? I can't count people. I have never been able to count people. You could show me a room of people and I'd say there's 35 people here, and you'd go, there's 110. But what? We didn't have a crew of like 80. What are you talking about? Way more. 50? Have I ever had to fire anybody? Yeah. Well, I have chosen to not rehire someone. You know. I've chosen to not rehire someone like on a run of projects that they would have naturally kind of been brought back on. So, oh yeah, and then the green screen day. Yeah, I honestly don't know, dude, but not a super small crew. I don't think 30 is a small crew. I mean, it's an independent crew, but I've not seen Pearl, but I'm going to. Please, no spoilers. No spoilers for Barbarian either. Thank you. How do I define success? Well, I don't know, because you could look at, I mean, there's a million ways to look at every single thing you do in this profession and define it as a failure or define it as a success. I've talked about on this live stream before. I've had films at festivals. You could consider that a success. Some of my friends that were in those films consider getting into the festival a success. I can look at it and say, oh, but that didn't lead to a distribution deal, and it didn't lead to me getting an agent. So the festival experience was a failure. Now, which one's more true? Well, there's got to be a middle ground. You've got to constantly be searching for the next level and applying an expectation to your experiences, or else you might not actively push to get to the next level. But you can't see everything as deficient. My therapist has told me for 2 years now, I tend to see the lack in everything. So that is a problem. You know, you could look at everything Onyx. The reason I clung to Onyx and kept going with him was truthfully a combination of not having any other opportunity and being transfixed by the character. But they're not mutually exclusive. I mean, there's a world where if I was a more successful person solely as a director or as an actor or as a writer, Onyx would have been an experiment that I walked away from because of other work and bigger opportunities. So, for better or for worse, and this started back at the Kickstarter, I've been trying to choose to see my current circumstance as successful circumstances to find myself in. You could say, perfect example, you could say, why isn't there a studio financing my ideas? I'm a fucking genius. I had to do a crowdfunding effort to get my movie off the ground. You could look at it like that. Or you could say, I crowdfunded a movie with all these wonderful people who believe in me and believe in the art that I want to create. And that's a wonderful thing. You know, and I have to challenge the kind of part of myself that, again, tries to see the lack in everything. When the truth is, to have this film in the can, to have it be something that I fully believe in, it was a 32-person crew. Ha! To have this can in the film, that's something that I made with friends, something that I made with people I love, something that I fully believe in front to back, that has my DNA in it front to back, that is a rare occurrence for any artist, and especially filmmakers. There are a rare few that get to make exactly what's in their head. But there's a great many more that don't. So, at least for Onyx and the Talisman of Souls movie, it is a success. And I would define it as a success because it is so much of my DNA and the creatives that I want to work with, the creatives that I want to see the work of, are all encompassed by this film. And that's a success. There's illustrators' work in it. There's animators' work in it. There's actors' work in it that I love and admire. And I got to have a say in all of it. So that's a success. Now, if we premiere this at a festival and it doesn't get purchased for distribution, will I be challenged on that perspective? Will I have to fight to see it as a success and remind myself of all of these wonderful things? Yes, it will be a challenge. But that's also what propels me to, want to do another one, want to get something else financed, want to write another script with Olivia that we get off the ground after Onyx goes to a festival, even if Onyx doesn't get distribution. Even if we don't get into a good festival, can we do an industry screening around here and still get some kind of juice out of the squeeze? I don't know if that answers your question. I don't even know what the question was anymore. I'm just kidding, I do. But those are my thoughts on that. Yeah. And ultimately, I think Onyx as an endeavor was a success because this movie really does sum up a lot of things I care about. And a lot of things I just genuinely find funny. All right. Thank you so much. Next week, I think The Squad should be back. My favorite Friday the 13th film is part 3. I think The Squad should be back in action. I can't speak for OTD, but I imagine next Friday we're back in action. We will have gotten this junior mix done, and we will have given notes on all of it. And it'll be a wild world to then be maybe a month out from having a completed film. Okay, thank you so much. I still got about half my pumpkin ale left. I'm going to sit here and maybe talk to Olivia about the Duke letter and finish my beer. Thank you all so much, especially for sticking in with me while I started and stopped 2 different streams. All right, have a good weekend.